I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this simply because I believe that somebody needs to hear this and somebody needs to be encouraged by this. This is something that I just basically went through within the last 24 hours. And I'm speaking this and sharing this when I normally wouldn't, but I'm feeling like somebody needs to hear this. So with my daughter not having enough hours the last couple of weeks with her job and everything, we were short on our rent. We were short on our rent. And I had no idea how in the world we were going to get our rent paid. And I was just sitting there looking at my situation like, God, you have been answering prayers left and right. So I know that you are going to come in and provide what I need here. And it was just so amazing what the Lord has been doing in me lately, because the way I responded this time was so unlike any time I have ever responded before. I believe it's because I've just gotten so much closer to the Lord, and I just trust the Lord, and I just believe the Lord. I believe his word. I believe his promises. I believe that because of what it is I am doing according to his will, it doesn't stop me from having to deal with things in this system. But my hope is not in myself or anybody else. It is in the Lord. It is in the Lord. And so, seeing that we did not have enough for rent, I'm looking at everything and I'm like, God, this is your will. I'm walking in your will. I'm walking in ministry. This is not something that I would be doing if you had not told me to do it. So I know I'm walking in my purpose and I'm walking in what I'm supposed to be walking in. I'm not being disobedient in any way. And so I know that because of that, you are going to come through for us. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, God, you have put so much in my hands. You've given me the artwork, the beadwork, all of my designs and the creativity with the things that I do. Then I've also got the ministry, the books, and then I got the podcast, and then I got the website, and I got all of these things that God has put in my hand. Yet, those things still had not provided enough for me to be able to have my rent. So I'm sitting here and I'm having a conversation with God, and I've been all weekend knowing this, been talking to God, and I'm like, God, I trust you. And I've been giving God back his word. He gave it to me. I'm going to give it back. Lord, you said you are my provider. You are my provider. You have to take care of me. You have to. And let me tell you what I decided I was not going to do. I was not going to try to figure out on my own how I was going to get my rent paid for. I wasn't going to go try to ask nobody. I wasn't going to go try to borrow no money. I wasn't going to try to work this out over here. And let me go over here and see how this could work out. And let me see. Nope. Because that to me is putting my hands in and not trusting God. Not trusting God, but me trying to work it out on my own. So I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait and I'm going to watch you do this, Lord. And so all weekend, like the Lord just had me resting in him, and I slept so well and peacefully. And I'm just watching. And so the day comes when I know that my rent is due, and I'm like, God, you know, I don't do fees. I don't do late. You didn't put me here to ever be late on my rent. So it's not going to start now. So I'm going to watch you do this. And let me tell you, I took absolutely every doggone dollar that I had. I took every dollar. I'm looking over here. I'm looking over there. I'm looking under here. I'm looking over there. And I'm gathering up absolutely every single dollar that I could find. And I was still short. I was still short. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, God, I just know that you got this worked out. This did not come as a shock or a surprise to you. You knew this before I even got to this point. So I'm going to trust you, Lord. I'm going to watch you do this, and I'm going to stand on your word that you are going to provide. So I'm sitting here yesterday, and I'm just like, I can feel it in my heart that something's happening, something's moving and working. And I'm still short. And all these little silly things just kept happening to try to stop and block me from having what it is I needed to get my entire rent paid on time. And I'm sitting here after I gathered everything into my account, and I'm still short. And I'm sitting here like, God, this doesn't even make any sense. With everything that you have given me, all my abilities, all my gifts, my talents, my knowledge, my wisdom, everything you gave me, why is it that I still am short on what it is I need? So I was like, you know what, Lord? I know one thing for certain. I ain't about to be here again, because this is not the way that I'm supposed to be living, being in your will, walking in what your plan is for me. So as I'm sitting here, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I could feel something working. I feel something working, Lord God, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing, because, Lord, you are my provider. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, wow, how is this going to work out? How is this going to work out? Do you know I literally needed like $3 more. $3 to have my full rent amount. And I didn't even have that, because I had gathered absolutely every single dollar I could find. And I was still $3 short. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, Lord, you got to do something. You got to do something. And let me tell you, right at that moment, the Lord moved somebody to come on and purchase an ebook on my website for $5. Come on. And I just went crazy, because I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That will give me exactly what I need to have my entire rent amount and on time. So then I was sitting here like, okay. So my daughter was like, okay, Mom, so I got like $10 in my wallet, and I can, take that and add that in there. And I was like, okay. And let me tell you, she was like, all I got is $10. Do you know when she went back into her wallet, she ended up having $15. And I was like, are you kidding me? Come on, Jesus. Let me tell you, somebody needs to hear this testimony. When you trust God with everything, I mean everything, and you are not trying to put your hands in it. You're not trying to figure something out. You're not trying to go to this person, that person, that person, that person over there to borrow money or ask for money. But you are totally dependent upon the Lord, as I am. God will come through. It's your waiting. It's how you wait. It's how you deal with the situation when you're in the situation. Because what I wasn't doing, I wasn't speaking negativity out of my mouth. I wasn't doubting that God was coming through. I just knew that he was. I knew that he would, because that's his word. That's his promise. I'm in his will. I'm walking in his will. I'm in line with what he has called me to do. That doesn't mean I'm not going to have issues and trials. That just means he is going to come through, and I got to trust him to do it. I got to trust him to do it, not somebody else, not myself. I have to trust God alone to come through, and he will do it. Somebody needed to hear this today, and this is going to encourage somebody. And I'm going to tell you right now, watch your mouth. Everything is according to your faith. According to your faith, it will be done for you. If you believe it, it's going to be done. If you say it, you're going to see it. According to your faith. If you start doubting and speaking negativity, that's exactly what you're going to see. That's exactly what you're going to get. But God is faithful and he is true. And if you stick to trusting and believing him, God will come through. Watch.